All right, all right. Happy Tuesday. Very excited to be out here today for another live. We've got the Vaibhav with co-founder and CEO of Blockflow. Talk about their CCTP Explorer and developer API that they've launched. Uh, really excited about this. Hopefully you're tuned in. We're going to be across different streamlines. We've got on X at Build on Circle. I know we're also on our YouTube channel, so youtube.com at Build on Circle as well. But you can also, hey, look, we like to share the love. We're on Blockflow, so definitely make sure to check out their handles as well as we stream this live. So really excited. Let's go ahead and bring up V to the stage. What's going on, my friend? How you doing today?
Hey everyone, am I audible, Sam?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, that's awesome. It's going great, and I know that we've been trying to do this for a while, and I'm
Yes,
so excited to be there. We are finally going to get chance to talk and do this live stream.
definitely. Yeah. It's funny. We've been doing this now for about a month, these live streams, and have to admit, Blockflow was actually the supposed to be the first one that we did, and we kind of like cross paths, and we tried, like you said, we tried to do it one time before, and then had a technical issue. So hey, look, you know what? Things happen for a reason. I'm glad you're here today. We got a lot of great things to talk about, and that's what we're gonna do. So, why don't you go ahead and give us a little background of yourself? How did you wind up into the Web3 space?
Oh, definitely, definitely. So I have been in this space for approximately 4.5 years now. Initially, I was a developer in the Web2 industry. I used to code in Python, JavaScript. I was into backend development in general. I worked at a couple of Web2 firms. But later on, I got into I got to know about the concept of blockchains in general, not via the path which most people take via investing in maybe Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency, but actually into the technical aspects of it. So I think I came across the white paper of Ethereum and I got into it, and it wasn't long until I fell in love with it. So it was about 2 months in, and I kind of left all other stuff I was doing and tried to get into the industry as much as I could. And later on, got as a smart contract developer at this company called Instadap. Now they're a DeFi protocol handling billions of dollars in TVLs. These days are doing pretty awesome, and I, along with the team, we built some pretty great projects. So some of them are currently handling billions of dollars. So I worked there for just more than a year, and it was a great experience. And I got to know about a lot of cool projects across the DeFi industry. And after that, me and one of my colleagues from Instagram, Brady, who's currently my co-founder, we got into uh, starting our own DeFi protocol. So it was basically something around under collateralized loans. But as we were building it out, we got we faced some issues with the data infrastructure, and we realized that in order for our project to actually have an experience which is at par with web 2 counterparts, web 2 financial applications, we had to build heavy data infrastructures so that our product can show all the stats around usages as well as financial metrics. So down the line, we realized that we were actually spending more time in building the data infrastructure rather than actually building the DeFi protocol. So we built the data infrastructure in house, and they later on decided to commercialize it in the form of Blockflow. So January 2023 was when Blockflow was born, and since the last 1.5 year, we've been running it and solving a lot of problems related to data and related infrastructures in the industry.
Awesome, man. Look, Where are you located? What part of the world are you located, my friend?
So we recently set up an on-site office in Bangalore, India. However, we previous to that we were remote low. So that's how most of the Web3 companies operate these days. Correct?
That's right, man. You know what though? I'm gonna say this, man. Shout out to all the builders out of India. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's so much happening that's coming out of that country that we really gotta, really gotta pay homage and give a great shout out to, man. It's so many great developers that are coming out of there. Like tell us like what's the energy like over there? I mean, there's why is there? It seems like there's a lot of innovation, a lot of excitement that's coming out of these young developers, man. Like give me a sense of what it's like right now.
Oh, it's crazy out here. I'm not sure if you know, but in terms of number of developers, ETH India is actually the biggest of all ETH global events. So
Hey, listen, man. I don't know if you're watching, if you're out there in India, man, but put your flags out. That is some big numbers. So you said the largest set of developers are you said ETH India or ETH, yeah, is in India. That's awesome.
actually, so I was one of the mentors at other ETH global events as well, ETH Singapore, ETH Bangkok, and I was kind of surprised by the scale ETH India has in the number of developers. So
Nice.
most people don't even know it. Before getting into a hackathon, ETH India hackathon, there is a application process which approximately I don't know the exact numbers, but rejects maybe 70 to 80% of the applications. So you need to cross that level before you
Wow.
actually hack in the hackathon.
Awesome, awesome, mom. Yeah, shout out to the whole community out there. I know there's a lot of builders that are leveraging our Circle products. I know we just had a hackathon out there in Bangkok, and there were several great representations. So yeah, shout out to the community, man. Let's go back into the CCTV Explorer. And so you built this for the community. Can you give us maybe a little overview of exactly what it is?
Oh, definitely, definitely. So I am sharing my screen where I have the CCTP Explorer opened. So I'm going
All
to
right, let
start
me
where
go over to it.
definitely. So I'm going to start with how we got into developing this, and so I think me and Sam as well, we got in touch with the Circle Discord, which is a great community. And we at Blockflow used to work with a lot of bridges, and we know that an explorer for a bridge is a very important problem for the users because since these are transactions which might take 10 or 15 minutes, users often get worried after sending the transaction that when my transaction is going to arrive on the destination chain. So an explorer is pretty necessary. So we wanted to build that out for the Circle community, and I don't know when we started out, but it was approximately in August that we went live with it internally, and I think we made it public to the community approximately in September. But this is what the Explorer looks like. This basically gives the user access to all the transactions that have been happening through CCTP. So let's say this was my transaction, I will be able to see statistics around it. Let's say it got completed in 9 minutes. When did it start? What was the source transaction has? What was the destination transaction has? It was a 1418 USDC transaction from Polygon to Base. So it has a lot of different metrics as well. If I as a user want to track the volumes or the number of transactions, I'm able to do it pretty easily. I am able to basically see specific transactions from particular dates or particular chains as well. So so it's basically a place where I as a user get a full transparent view on the CCTP ecosystem as well as all the USDC transfers across different chains.
Man, that's awesome. That's really cool. I love it. I love it. You're right, man. And shout out to the entire Discord community. I am listening. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. All right, I'm paying attention. I'm observing the conversation because that's exactly how we got connected. You're absolutely right, man. Right there in the Discord. So yeah, a shameless plug. Circle.com/Discord. I'm just saying. You might end up doing a live stream with the kid. All right. So, why don't we go into here? Just I guess maybe like this general walkthrough of the Explorer. I'm kind of curious to see it in action. But then also, and you can play around how you want to do this. I know that there's a lot of different use cases and reasons why this has some value to developers and how maybe they could integrate this into their stacks and maybe supply some use cases for users. So let's go ahead and hop in. If you want to go ahead, I can switch back to the Explorer and maybe start with the walkthrough.
Definitely, definitely. So I am still sharing my screen. Would be great if you can switch back to it and let us walk through all the screens that the Explorer has to offer. So the first is the user part. Whenever a user sends a transaction via the CCTP bridge, me as a user want to see what is the status of my transaction or what is the estimated time my bridging transaction will be completed. So whenever a transaction goes through the source chain, Blockflow tracks it on all is continuously tracking all the transactions going via the CCTP contracts on various chains. So if you switch on this button of pending transactions, you will be able to see all the pending transactions which are about to be fulfilled. So for example, this particular transaction happened from Arbitrum to Base 28 seconds ago, and let's check it out. So if this was my transaction, I as a user would want to know at what estimated time will my USDC arrive. So this was a 504 USDC transaction where I can check out the source transaction hash. It hasn't arrived on the destination yet, and this Explorer is showing me it is going to take about 19 minutes for the transaction to arrive, and this is going to be the receiver address for the transaction. Now, as soon as the transaction happens, it will update on the Explorer as well. So I have some transparency on what is the status of my transaction, which is actually a problem for users. So we've been working with a lot of bridges, and sometimes bridges Discord are filled with these kinds of questions, or where are my funds, or are they still logged, or do I have to do anything else? So this is basically the transparency part on how me as a user can get I can get to know how what is the status of a transaction. The next use case is for research and analysts. So if I want to know the statistics around what has been the volumes of the CCTP Explorer across various chains. So let's say I wanted to know what has been the Ethereum volume. So on Ethereum, there have been 6.44 million of volume over the last 24 hours. Similarly, these are the 7-day and 1 month volume, and this is the graph. And you are also able to see the transaction volume. So this is based on the number of transactions, the graph this time, and this is based on the amount of USDC. You can also change the time frame over here, and here are all of the top addresses which have been interacting with CCTP. So for example, I think since this is the top address in terms of both transactions as well as volume, I suppose this is a smart contract, which probably is a smart contract of one of the bridge aggregators. So let's quickly check it out. Let me open it on Etherscan. Yeah, this is a smart contract, and this is Socket Gateway. So I think this is Socket bridge aggregators, Bungee Exchange smart contract, and all the CCTP transactions go through it. Now the next thing is, if let's say I as an analyst want to see flow of USDC across multiple chains, so this is a pretty interesting page for that. So
I gotta say, this is one of my favorite pages to look at. I
that-
just love the design and the flow of it. So yeah, I'm sorry.
exactly.
Continue.
Yes, for me as well. I mean, like when I usually want to see what has been the net volume transfer or net USDC exchange across multiple chains, and this is a pretty interesting one for that. So so I'll just go through it initially, and then we can talk more about it. So for example, over the last 1 month from Ethereum, overall 851 million of USDC has been transferred to all these chains, and 51% of it went to Arbitrum. Similarly, you can check this out for multiple chains. you could switch to destination, and you can then check out what has been the volume inside Arbitrum or inside Ethereum from multiple chains. You can do this transaction wise as well. So for example, there were 18,000 transactions which happened where the CCTP in the CCTP transaction base was the source chain, and these were the destination chains. And you can also filter it based on the last week, let's say. So over the last week, there were 4,650 transactions from base to all of these chains. So I, as a user, I'm seeing that in terms of number of transactions, base is the leader. However, in terms of volume, Ethereum is the leader. In terms of asset flow outside, and in terms of destination, Arbitrum is getting more and more USDC. In terms of transactions, again, base is on the top. So if I was an analyst and I was searching on what has been the user behavior or what has been the institutional behavior, I could pretty easily do it with an explorer like this. And secondly, I think like these are visual use cases on for analysts as well as users, but the CCTP Explorer takes it one step further. So I think like this live stream is also announcement for our APIs for the CCTP Explorer going live. So if you click on this button, you will be taken to this page of docs.cctpscan.xyz, where
Oh,
we have
nice. So
actually.
The APIs are live now.
Yes, yes, they are totally live, and they are available for any developer to use. So we have actually open
Awesome.
sourced all of these APIs. The CCTP Explorer right now is actually powered by these APIs itself. So if any developer or any protocol which is currently utilizing the CCTP bridge, they often require APIs. Like, let's say if I was a front end for CCTP, then I would want my users to know uh, what is the status of the transaction, or what has been the late past transactions for that particular user, the transaction histories. Or maybe I was, as a one user, also want to know from which contract is my transaction going through, or who have been the top users of the CCTP bridge. So these kinds of APIs are always available via Blockflow, and we have open sourced it. So let us quickly try to spin one of them up right now. So uh, so we have APIs around statistics for top mints and top so top mint recipients as well as top burn senders, and then transaction specific APIs like burn transactions, mint transactions, sender transactions, or the list of domains the uh, CCTP bridge supports. So domains are basically the chains. So in CCTP, I think zero domain ID belongs to Ethereum. Similarly, Arbitrum has three, Base has six. So let's quickly try to use one of these APIs. So in order for you to use this API, you need to enter an authorization key, which is your API key. So you will be able to get it via creating an account on Blockflow. So let me quickly go through that first, and then we'll spin up an API. So this is my account on Blockflow, and if you want to spin it up, it's basically simply a Google or Wallet Connect, and you can go to the key management section. And if you don't have an API key yet, there will be a generate API key button. For me, it is already ready, so I'm just going to copy it, and I will just paste it over here. I already have pasted that. And then this is basically this will give me top mint recipients. So let's just add a limit that just give me top 10 recipients, and let's send it. So this is the response. So this gives me this address and the volumes associated and the transaction count of that particular address. These are the top recipients, and this gives me a lot all the top of recipients. And similarly, you are able to see all the burn senders, all the burn transactions list. So let's say I already have the authorization key here. So let's say I wanted the top the latest burn transactions, and I have added the limit 10 to it. So these are all the burn transactions. So this gives me full details on the transaction. What was the amount of USDC transferred? Is it completed yet? What was the timestamp when it was sent? What was the the recipient who's going to get the funds? the sender address, the transaction hash, and all the details around it. So me as a developer, I was pretty psyched when we open sourced this, because this is pretty useful information. Thank you.
I'm definitely excited as well. I think that that's really really cool. Really really cool. Really really cool.
Totally, totally. So we at Blockflow also have support channels for this, but however, I definitely recommend, if at all any person has any issues with the CCTP Explorer or related APIs, you can reach us out directly, or also can ping on the Circle Discord, because I am an active member of the community.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to you and your entire Blockflow team. I think it's really neat. Looking forward to seeing how people start to integrate this. As you mentioned, he is an active member in our Discord, and since you gave a little preview, I'm also going to give a little preview. We're going to start, really honing in and supporting these active members in our community. Hopefully, we'll be able to announce something real soon for folks like yourself, just to help elevate, and shoot, help you to continue to be leaders in your own community. So huge shout out to everything that you're doing. Really appreciate you. That's right. You can join our Discord. It's really simple. Circle.com/Discord. Reach out to him. All of our key members, especially you're also part of the Alliance program. So shout out to the Alliance program. And so he has a special designation within our Discord, so he'll be easy to find. And Sam, I'm Sam Circle, Sam USDC on Discord, so you can reach out to me anytime that you want. What, like, do you have any anticipations or maybe ways that you envision a developer might leverage this API, and maybe something that they're not thinking about? Maybe, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious if there's something out of the box you think that could be used for.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I
Okay,
think, like,
cool.
since since CCTP in general is like an infrastructure which anybody can actually build a front end on top of, and spin up a bridge pretty easily. What I mean by that is Circle has provided the infrastructure, and anybody can actually build the front end on top of it. I think the most used front end for this right now is sockets. So I'm guessing, I think Socket approximately charges some fees on the CCTP transactions or the USDC bridging transactions that go through the Socket smart contract. However, I definitely envision more front ends or more easier ways to bridge which use CCTP in the backend for the actual bridging transactions, which is, in my opinion, one of the safest bridges out there. And for the front end, you will basically need to integrate with CCTP smart contracts, and will need APIs which we at Blockflow have open sourced for the CCTP Explorer. So I
Awesome, awesome,
definitely
awesome.
see front ends being built.
Yeah, and I think that's great. And for those that might be a little, new to the power of CCTP, the this is different than your typical, because you mentioned the bridge. So I want to clarify for everybody out there. This is a literal mint and burn. So
Yeah.
it's native USDC transferring natively to another chain via CCTP. To me, I was super excited when USDC came on board, right? I was super excited. Like, okay, I know it's trust verified. The people are here. They got all the right folks that are, auditing, etc. I was super excited in the community. This is before I came to Circle. When I came to Circle and CCTP was launched, I said, it's over. This is the game changer, baby. This is the game changer. Probably one of the most incredible tools that really just make it safe for everybody. And it's super exciting just to see the community like yourself once again to come out, innovate on top of it, make it even more convenient now for people to track transactions. So appreciate all that you've done. I put on the other screen the website where you can go ahead and get the docs. I'll make sure to also include that, in the notes on our YouTube. So this recording will continue to be live, or sorry, not live, but available for you to rewatch. So I add the link, the URL to the docs in that. And I'll also make sure that you continue to follow us on X. It will continue to be on stream I don't know until X takes it down, but it's going to be up there for a while. So if you missed it, forward it, like it, share it again, watch it some more. But hey, look, man, thank you for joining us. Is there anything else you want to add before we log off here?
Definitely, yeah. So we at Blockflow have some pretty exciting stuff going on as well, and would love if you all could also follow our channels where we are going to be doing some great things for the Circle community as well as our other initiatives. So stay tuned, and we will be releasing some great stuff very soon.
Stay tuned, everybody. Hey, look, thank you for hanging with us. We're gonna continue to do more of these. I love doing them. It's great. If you want to appear and appear on these live streams, let me know. I'm happy to help. So to everybody that joined in, thank you again. I see about almost 150 folks. It's early morning here on the East Coast. I know it's early in the West Coast and late over there far east. So thank you for joining us today. Until next time, talk to you soon. Ciao.
Bye.